Well, it's now time to turn our heads to Russia, and joining us to discuss what is happening there and in relations between the U.S. and Russia is Russian-born former U.S. intelligence officer and author of the book Putin's Playbook, the latest intelligence insights from the battlefront, Rebekah Koffler. Rebekah, thank you so much for coming on this Thanksgiving weekend here. Really appreciate it. I wish we had happier stuff to talk about, but there's a lot of news on this front here. I want to talk first about these experimental ballistic missiles Putin used last week to retaliate against a Ukraine strike that was carried out with U.S.-made long-range missiles. These missiles were approved by Joe Biden. The use of these as a sort of a parting gift, I suppose, to Ukraine. You've written an insightful piece on the Fox News website about the strategic message that was being sent by the use of this experimental missile. Tell us what this weapon was and what they are trying to tell the Americans in the West.
Sure. Very nice to be here with you, James, and your audience. This missile is a new class of missile. It's a hypersonic missile called Oreshnik. But what's unique about it is not only that it is flying at hypersonic speeds, it is also an ICBM disguised as an IRBM, and it's a treaty-breaking missile. ICBMs, by nature, were designed to wage a nuclear war. And it is technically an intermediate range, but it basically goes up to 5,000 kilometers in range. So it can target the entire Europe and the west coast of the United States. What's also very unique about this missile is it is very difficult, extremely difficult to intercept by existing U.S. missile defenses. It's also very confusing. It can carry both nuclear and conventional payload, and so it's hard for our systems to discriminate what is coming, and that is on purpose. This missile was designed on Putin's orders to create the proverbial fog of war that, Clausewitz, the renowned Prussian military strategist, Clausewitz spoke about. And that is because the Russians want to achieve strategic initiative, and when you confuse the adversary, you get that time needed to surprise them. So what Putin is telegraphing to Biden is to de-escalate, to back out of Ukraine, or else he's going to conduct lethal attacks, including on Europe, and non-kinetic attack on the United States.
So this seems to be quite a dangerous position here, because if this missile is designed and if these weapons are designed to create a fog of war, well, in a fog of war, that's when mistakes get made, and that's when things really escalate. How close does this bring us to the proverbial World War III, Rebekah?
So we are firmly on what is called the escalation ladder. Right? It is right now, it depends how close we are. It depends on what the United States does at this point, because right now Moscow and Washington are doing the tit for tat, so to speak, approach. Putin got 10,000 North Korean troops. Then Washington perceived it as an escalation. So Biden authorized Zelensky, and Zelensky took him on his offer to use ATACMS to strike. So Putin has ratcheted up. He jumped several rungs on the escalation ladder by striking massively Ukraine today, on Thursday, on Thanksgiving Day, which is not by chance, by the way. That continues to signal, knocking out about the energy, the critical infrastructure, the energy infrastructure is being destroyed right now. 50% of it is destroyed. And so about 1 million households lost power today. What Putin also did is the Russian and Syrian air forces are jointly bombing the rebel territories in Syria, northwestern Syria. By the way, we have 900 troops in Syria. So he's doing lateral, what's called lateral escalation, and vertical escalation. And so I'm waiting on Biden, what Biden will do, and that is what's going to dictate how close we are to World War III.